I started my career as a video artist, photographer, visual artist actually. But it was a dream to making film. Always I wanted to make film, and it took time because I had to learn how to write script, and I was 30 when I made my first short film. In between, after that another short film, America, and now the Gradient of History, which is in Berlinale, and it's really great for me. I wrote a dialogue between two men walking in the forest talking about miracle. One believer and the other one doesn't believe to miracle. And after that, it was just a page. After that, I was thinking there is a story inside this dialogue. And so I started thinking about it. After a month, I had the whole story on my mind and started the shooting process, pre-production. I started practicing with actors, checking everything with the DOP, things like that. But we didn't have money at that time, but we were doing the pre-production without money. So I started to search for money, and after 2-3 months, suddenly find someone to invest and start the shooting process. It was really fast, everything. I can say inspired by so many things, some Iranians and some like foreigners as well, like I don't know, Dostoevsky, Kutsi, so many filmmakers like Alice Rohrwacher from Italy. Happy as Lazzaro was really influenced, one of the most influential films for me. Yes, so many things, not just Iranian ones. The main idea that is about miracle is something that is my challenge, my own challenge. If it exists or not, it's something that I think about it, and not just think about it, I live it. When I have a problem, I'm looking for a miracle, but when everything is fine, I'm not thinking about these things, you know. It made me like, so are you a believer or not? So I'm somewhere in between. I do not pray always, but when I have a problem, I start praying. So, for example, I have a fear to be in a flight. When I want to have a flight to go somewhere, I do praying, you know. But I'm not religious, so it's something I think this is really interesting for me. This challenge. So I wanted to say it's something really personal, and I can find it in history. When I read Dostoevsky, for example, I can see he is just talking about believers and unbelievers. He is always doing that. I really respect him. Or Kutsi, Master of Petersburg, another novel that I think is really a masterpiece, influenced by Dostoevsky again. Or in cinema, maybe Tarkovsky, Bresson, Bergman, Rohrwacher, as I mentioned before, and so many other things. I cannot say. I mean, there are so many. I can mention all of them. Yeah. Specifically about desert, that's where I used to live. 10 years ago, I had a trauma, and I wanted to just leave Tehran because it was really stressful for me at that time. And I went to desert. I was living in a caravanserai in Anorak, and I was just guiding people through desert. So I knew all the locations. I mean, because I was a guide. And so I knew totally that place. But about the north of Iran, we just had 3 days location scouting, and just by I don't know how we find the rural's woman place. We found it really by incident, and also caves, but we didn't knew about so many other locations. So during the shooting, we had to find some locations, and they were important. Like the last cave, I was just saw the image of the great yawn of history on Google, and I didn't know even if I can go up, and we could, but it took like 4 hours walking with all the equipments. So yeah, there were some difficulties. One thing was really important for me. I needed some places to be like really nature, not representation of nature. Because I think what we have now in world, all over the world, is kind of representing the nature. It's not nature. Nature has been edited. So I was wondering if I could find a cave without any sign of human. You know, it's not something that you can achieve. Go there or make a fire there, stay there. It's not like this. I wanted somewhere that really, really be like nature, you know. So it was hard in these terms, but also was really joyful because we were just wandering in desert, in forest, mountains. It was great experience. The young actor Shoja is a friend of mine. He is like 23 years old, and he is absolutely talented, gifted person actually. And it was his first feature film. He had 2 short films before that, and also some theater. And Mohammad Aqabati, the main actor, older one, he is actually a theater director as well, playing so many roles in theater, also in cinema. A hero, Asghar Farhadi, Mohammad was there, or I don't know the English title of the movie, of Mani Haqiqi. پذیرایی ساده, Muhammad was at that one too. So I knew him, and when I was writing, I was sure that Muhammad should play this role. I had the vision of him playing the role. Yeah.
You were a student in a Kiarostami workshop.
Yeah.
So how did you learn from him? Because I think that your movie, there are some codes which refers maybe to Kiarostami, but it's very different. You choose to not to do another Kiarostami copy.
I'm really happy you say that.
I think that you have really your originality, but there are some things which maybe you learn from him.
I see. I think you're talking about the tradition. It's not just about Mr. Kiarostami. We can mention like Ibrahim Golestan as well, or so many other filmmakers from before revolution and after revolution. This is a style. But Mr. Kiarostami was really influential, is really influential for me. When I have a problem, when I have to decide for something, I always think, if Mr. Kiarostami was here, what would he do? So it's not about. I was his student for 1.5 years. It was a documentary class, but mostly I learned from him how to live. How to behave. The approach of filmmaking, not just technical things, or not how to write or how to direct. Just way of thinking, being independent. I think it's really important.
Is the movie was shown in the theaters in Iran, or it will be shown?
I'm really not sure, because now in Iran we have so many comedies in cinemas, and I'm not sure if the movie is really likable for Iranian audience now, because even in all over the world, because it's art house movie. You can enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy it. But I'm not sure about Iranian cinema. We have to see.
A question about music.
Yeah.
How did you choose it?
Actually, the composer is my sister, and you ask if I choose it, or she made it.
Or
For
everything on music?
Yeah, I see. Yeah, it was a long process, and really hard process, because it's really hard for me to use music for my films. For my short films, I didn't. It was the first time, because I thought that it need music, and now I'm happy about it. We have to see in future what will happen, what will be my thinking about it. I mean, but the process of the composing was really hard, because we had to find out what kind of tone is suitable for the movie, and it took really long, like 9 months. In comparison with the whole process of making the movie, it's really long. Yeah, did you enjoy it? No.
Why your film is not in competition?
I may know some answers, but I think we can ask it from programmers, because and also I haven't seen movies from competition, just one of them, Favorite Cake, Iranian one, Behtash and Maryam, which I liked it. I liked it because I know the context, and I like the movie as well. But I'm not sure, maybe because it's my first film, is there any criteria that maybe they couldn't put it on the main competition? I'm not sure, really.
Coming back to the philosophical approach in your film, there is a question of time, there is a question of faith, but there is also a question of wisdom. Is that somehow something that is metaphorical of your own path? I mean, as a man, but also as a filmmaker?
Yeah, of course it is, but don't ask me how, because it's really complicated. I mean, it's really abstract for myself. How I have connection with all the things that you mentioned, myself, I mean, personally. But yeah, there are so many things like this as metaphor in the movie, and some of them are really has some kind of personal feeling for me.
Even if your story is about going to somewhere and we are not sure whether they will achieve their goals or not, you follow a path in your film, and this path is very clear. I mean, for instance, the season. You start from spring and you go to the winter. How do you made it?
Mm-hmm. About the season, it was really by chance. I mean, north of Iran is green, and south of Iran in winter is totally dry, you know, and you can see snow as well. We had rain. They were really by chance. We couldn't manage these things, you know, because we just had 19 days of shooting. And about first time of your first part of your question, can you repeat it?
Whether even if your characters they don't know where they are going, but you know where they are going.
I also didn't know where they will go. I mean, I also didn't know if they can find the coins or not. We had the coins. We had the box of coins. You know that? It's the first time that I'm talking about it. We had the box of coins, and we took them 4 hours. It was really heavy. Took them 4 hours up in the mountain for the last cave to see if we want to use it or not. We didn't know if they can find coins or not. So at the top of the mountain, I changed everything. Yeah, I thought maybe I was thinking before that I will go with Shoja inside the cave, not with Baytullah. But it was there that I decided to stay with Baytullah, and we don't want to see if coins are there or not, because the question of the movie is not this one.
Maybe the last question about the collaboration between your two main actors, because it seems there is something like a mirror of your film in the collaboration of both, because one is not very famous, but a famous one that makes his career, and the other one is just starting. There is the old guy and there is a young guy. There is maybe the believer and the not believer. I don't know if they are believer or not. How do they collaborate, and how do they create your film as well as characters and as a persons?
I see. Actually, they didn't know each other at that time, but now they're like father and son. I mean, their connection is really, really magical now. So I think for them it was a great experience. They mentioned it so many times, and also for me to see these two actors, their intimacy, their passion about the work. Yeah, it was a great experience.
You're now at the Berlinale. For you, is that a miracle? And do you expect some more miracles after that?
Yeah, that's a good question. Which, yeah, of course, I look forward to see what will happen in future in these terms. Yeah, of course, it's not the last one. Of course, it's not.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.